I really appreciate you being here. This is going to be an eye-opener for a lot of groomers. You know, there's so many people out there that are starting to learn to groom on their own. They're self-taught. There's a lot of distant learning out here now, so a lot of people are learning on the computer. So this video is going to really bring important issues to these groomers. So I'm so happy that you're doing this with us.
Well, I think I'll just try to give the basic information, what you will be responsible for, and leave the rest up to the doctors if they're,
That's right.
you know, sending them to the veterinarian.
That's right.
I'll let you give me the directions, and then we'll follow through with it.
Great. Well, and that's another issue, is you have to be careful when you're talking to the pet owners, because you don't want to tell them, even if you know what the condition is, you don't ever want to diagnose. You just want to say, you know, I think this should be seen by a vet. As long as you get them to the vet, that's the most important thing. Okay, so first thing we're going to discuss are our ears. We have a lot of breeds, including your poodles, your Shih Tzus, your Lhasas, that have hair in the ear canal that has to be plucked. Now, it is very important for groomers to do that.
I think it's very important. You know, a lot of your breeds that have the hair in the ears, I don't think a lot of people care for that except for the groomers, and I think managing that hair is as important as anything for these ears. You take a poodle, for instance, and some of these other breeds that have a lot of hair. I think if you pluck it too much, you will get an irritation into the ear. If you don't pluck it enough, you get a lot of hair that's caught up in the ear canal. Will cause moisture and wax and infection, so there's a balance of it. So I think cleaning these ears, keeping the hair somewhat cleaned out, keeping them clean, free of debris, I think is a very important aspect of the grooming.
Okay, so over plucking, it can be detrimental.
Yeah, I think sometimes you start over plucking, and then that plucking causes redness and inflammation to the ear that can then harbor other infection and cause more irritation.
Because I've had dogs where I've pulled out so much ear hair that the next day the client calls and said, oh, their ears are so black. So does that stir up some debris that might have been deep down?
I think you have some other debris that's down in there, but you realize if it hasn't been done for a long period of time and then you're doing it, you know, you are going to get some inflammation. But I think if it's that bad, I think you'd have to start out getting most of that hair out, maybe have them be aware of that and say to the owner, look, this hasn't been done in a while, we'll clean it out. There may be some redness or inflammation afterwards, and we may have to, you know, have something in the ear for a period of time after that.
Okay, so would it be wise maybe not to do it all at one visit, maybe to do it in a couple different visits that would be that less irritating?
I think it depends on the severity of the ear. I mean, if you're really seeing infection or a lot of irritation in the ear when you're doing it, then I'd probably clean it the best you could and then tell the owner, look, maybe they need to see the veterinarian with the ear. If it's not too bad, you may say, look, I'll do it in stages. I'm going to see the animal every 6 weeks or whatever. You may say, look, I'm going to do half of it today. Next time we'll get the next half, and then we can continue on from there.
Okay, now if the ears are very red and irritated, and you know, sometimes I don't like to get in there and even pluck the ear if the ears are that painful for the dog. Would that be a good time to send them to you and to get the infection under control?
Yeah, I think you had to judge. I mean, if you're doing something on the ear, you are going to get some inflammation. But I mean, if the animal is so painful that's crying and you get a lot of smell, a lot of debris in there, a lot of red is very painful, you may want to say, look, I'm not going to groom these any further as far as the ears. Take care of the rest of the dog, and then just tell the owners, look, maybe they need to have the veterinarian check.
Okay, good.